and welcome to another stream here on Behance and YouTube. My name is Anna Daviscourt. I'm a children's book illustrator. This is my best friend Anthony Sims. He is a retoucher, co-host extraordinaire, keeper of the cats.
Hello.
Could we say that? I feel like you have a lot of cat knowledge now.
Well, there is a cat in here.
There's a wild cat.
The door's closed.
So wait, yes, if Saturn could make an appearance, is that a possibility?
No, not right now. He might want out later, but I'm not gonna grab him and disturb him from his restful slumber.
I don't want to disturb him. Maybe you could just like take a camera and shove it in his face.
I have that picture that I took that is pretty good of what's currently happening from a while ago. Does that make sense?
Yeah, from a while ago. Also, a few shout outs in the chat. We've got Anthony Sims as first in the chat. Gold star Anthony Sims. We've got Rennie, hello. D. Ross said, made it here early on Behance. And also there's someone called the Canadian Pulse over on YouTube who was first there. Platinum star to you, Canadian Pulse.
Whoever that is. Wink. Will things be good?
Misty Owatsu, hello. Welcome to the stream. Hi, nice to meet you. Joe's in the chat. Hello, Joe. How are you doing today? Rin says, how are you lovely folks today? Clearly having trouble reading, but also quite good. I just had a few Thin Mints before stream. Don't tell James. Shh. And, oh my gosh, they are so good from the freezer. Yum, 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 yum. I've gotten...
Save me one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, we have like...
I already went through all of my boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
Okay, I'll save you one. That's it.
Okay.
Oh man. Tamara's in the chat. Hello, welcome. Dro was saying, speaking of, I might have to head out. Just tuning in with audio. In a bit when Milu decides that she wants her morning walk. You know, that is the most important thing you can possibly do. So I very much support this.
Stretch those little doggy legs.
Have a good doggy walk. A little doggy jaunt. Oh. Okay.
Okay, I posted it on Animal Channel of what he...
you.
Looked like a couple of weeks ago, a week ago, but I mean, he's just been doing it ever since. He's addicted.
Rin put a very good GIF on the Discord in the Scream schedules. I am very happy about that.
Aww.
Oh my gosh, he's just Jabba the Hutt but a cat. Okay, I'm going to show you. First, these are the axolotls that we're going to be painting today. I'm picking up from a stream that I had with Ryan Selvey yesterday, and that was a ton of fun, so definitely go check out the replay. Ryan is doing Offset Week on Adobe Live, which is basically the whole Adobe Live team is going on vacation, and Ryan is taking the reins.
And boy, did he take those reins.
Seriously, he's done so much.
By the sounds of what Anna was telling me, it's like all in.
So
and
much.
Then some.
It's Ryan's show. It's
Ryan's show,
awesome. Yeah. This is Saturn, which is Anthony's roommate's cat. Or should we just call Saturn your roommate at this point?
He's in my room, so
he really doesn't have a sense of boundaries. And this is your bag, and it's Patagonia, and so you called it Catagonia.
Yeah, he was just yowling at the door. Anna heard him a little bit before we started the stream. I was like, should I just let him in? I know that we would be happier if he could just go sit in his stupid bag. It's his now.
His favorite bed. I feel like there's essence of Jabba the Hutt for sure happening in this picture, especially with the jowl that pokes out. He's got a very rotund face that is very
really
you just want to
does.
squish it. So cute. I love him. So give him scritches for me. Yeah.
Oh, specifically, yeah. I pet him every day, but I'll let him know. These are from Anna. Mine are up next.
And how do they vary? I don't know.
Do you have a way that you prefer?
Yeah, I would say, like, if you can. I don't remember specifically how he likes to be pet. Usually I, like, test it out, you know? But I really like, from above, if you can, getting, like, both sides of the cheeks and doing, like, a gentle rub with your fingertips, like, along their cheeks. Like, get that? Going back. And then just, like, kind of going back to the back. Yeah? And
okay,
just going back and forth and doing that. Like,
okay. A set number of times?
3.
7. Okay, even
20.
better. Oh, goodness. 7 times 3 minus 1.
I'm just gonna hop into painting these guys. I have several layers going on. If you want to run down, just ask me what some of the stuff is. But also, you could just watch.
What is some of the stuff? Oh, I guess I could do that too. I forgot that it was happening, so I totally blanked on yesterday's stream.
How dare you?
Whoops. With two of my favorite streamers here on Behance.
Which one?
You
two
and
of the stream.
Ryan.
Okay, gotcha. Well, let's see. Actually, I started with a sketch. This is here, get rid of this nasty properties. Get out of here. Nobody wants you here. Don't you see? We don't love you anymore. Okay, so yeah, we started with a sketch. I did this in fresco the night before the stream, and it was so much fun. There's something magical about doing like animal sheets like this. It just made my brain light up in the right ways. And then the next day when we were about to stream, I was like, I can't wait to paint on this. It's such a great feeling. It's exactly what you want for a stream. So anyways, when we first went into it, I just painted underneath the sketches with let's really go back to the painting. Gold. And then on top of it, I used a clipping brush or clipping mask to just paint some of the colors that I had in the palette up here. Painted the body and the tail and all that, the frills in, and then I colored the sketch with a clipping mask as well, so that we got like a nice pink highlight in there. And then I started doing we put a background behind it, and I zhuzhed the color, which I still might change the color of the background, who knows. I just did some like detail marks, kind of painting stuff in and taking some of the lines out here and there. And then on top of that is a soft light layer. So we've got some colors that are just on a different blend mode, and they add a lot of like depth and color stuff to it. There you go. We only had time yesterday to kind of finish one of them, so I wanted to just wrap up the rest today and have fun painting them, because they are a hecaton to paint. A hecaton?
A hecaton. Well, how many do we have here actually? 4, 8. 8 of them.
Count the axolotls. 1,
wow.
2, 3, 4. Do you have a favorite so far?
I really like the one with the sparkle in its eyes, but maybe it's just because that one's the most developed. If you go back to just the line art, maybe I could be able to narrow it down a little bit better based off of position. The one on the bottom left.
This one?
Oh, sorry. That one. I like how stiff the legs are, of kind of just like that floating through space with the legs.
Yeah, I do like that too. The little like, this was my favorite moment. The one up here.
Little arm just that little leg. I do like that. The hand.
The only rule I really set was that I wanted the legs to be thicker at the bottom, and so from there I just had fun. Their little fingers are like little stars. They're just pointy and weird. I love them.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. Misty was in the chat saying that they're having a little trouble hearing you. Any way to get your mic a little bit closer?
Yeah, and I can turn up my gain. But maybe I just backed up too much. Hello, can you hear me? Misty, tell me. Can you hear me? Is anybody alive
we'll
out
keep
there?
Going and see
can
how.
Hear me?
I see how it goes.
Name that reference.
It's Titanic.
Well, it's Titanic. Duh.
But with axolotls instead.
Oh my gosh, the romance. the little hand on the window sliding down.
Perfect.
I'm flying, Jack. You know, James has never seen that movie. We're gonna have to watch it someday.
It's so good. You should come over and watch it when that becomes a thing that we could do again, because we've got quite the setup for it with the surround sound and the big TV that actually won at that Christmas party.
And we're gonna play It Takes Two, so it's just gonna be a lot
to do that day. James doesn't have to come over for that. Just you.
He's gonna come over just for
it. Only
Titanic.
Takes two.
Did you see
We'll put him in the room and he can watch Titanic while we play It Takes Two in my bedroom.
There we go. Boom. I love it.
Unless Ryan gets some free time after all of his crazy stream shenanigans, and then we could actually finish the game.
Well, with any luck, maybe we probably wouldn't have Ryan pop into the stream. I'm guessing he's very tired. He's been doing so much work for all of this offset week.
I hope he's sleeping.
Yeah, I know, seriously. But everybody go support Ryan in his endeavors, watch the replays, and tell Adobe that you want him to have a regular show here. Because he deserves it, if nothing else. But also, it's just, like, really entertaining. He does a great job. Ugh. Can you imagine if on Adobe Live, there were actually, like, Ryan's holiday specials?
Yeah, cool I could. I feel like he would get the recognition that he deserves for all the work that he puts into it. So it seems like a bigger platform that he would get a bigger audience. Definitely.
Also, what if we had like special guests that were the Adobe Live team? I mean,
they're all on vacation.
They are still here. They're still gonna make stuff. Oh man. I believe, well, actually there was another stream from Cody Bear this week as well, which is the Sword in the Stone was the theme. What is it called? Monster Power Hour, I believe. Something like that? Medieval Power Hour. Sure. Nailed it. Oh. I still haven't caught a show. I feel so bad because I really want to support Cody Bear. Cody Bear is another fantastic host and creator of a whole original show on Adobe Live, so go check that out as well. Always.
Did I let you know that Tara's in the chat? Tara's in the chat.
Tara's in the chat?
Hey, saying Ryan should have a late night show.
Yeah, he's just a variety show host. I agree.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being like a past life of his. A future life even.
Gotcha. I think future life more than past, but you know, to each their own.
Well, it just seems that it comes so naturally to him that maybe he was once upon a time.
I could believe it.
On his Discord, someone posted the original Wordle game, and it was like a game show in the 80s or something. It wasn't called Wordle. It was called something else, but it was you have to guess 5-letter words by filling out these charts, and then there's like Powerball things involved or whatever. So that part was a little different to make it more like game showy, but basic concept was the same of try to guess the word in a certain amount of tries with 5-letter word guesses. And then if you guess something wrong, it goes over to the other team.
Like Family Feud.
I feel like is such, I don't know, feels weird when the person gets almost all the way there.
Yeah.
And then the other people just swoop in.
Well, that's why the points should be
It's like, you won $1,000 because you guessed it when they said the only other option.
Literally every letter was filled in except for the last one. And they were like, spoons? No.
Yeah.
Sporks? I don't know.
There was one word that this guy said, and it like wasn't an actual word, and it just made me like smack my head. I was like, oh my gosh. Idiot.
Oh no, Anthony.
That was my 5-letter word for him.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay, I really want to tell you about the Wordle today, but it's still active, so I won't. I'll tell you about it.
I don't even remember what it was. I did it, right?
Sure. Don't say anything if you do remember.
I texted it to you.
You punk.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, we always text about Wordle. This is our new thing. I love it.
New? We've been doing it for a while now.
I mean, yeah, but I'm just saying, like, before Wordle, did
we
like
text our
yeah, we kind of
guess stack, like what words we actually guessed to each other.
Exactly.
After we text the little blank squares of like, okay, we got it. And then we just wait for the other person to post it, and then we post our guesses because it's fun to see who guesses what.
Dad's
like the other
guess
day,
today was insane. He got it in 3, and it was just like, how did you get it so perfect? But anyways, continue. Sorry.
The other day, when you texted back like that word that you hadn't heard before, and I was like, I know, weird. But I use that one actually quite often.
You know what? James had not heard of as like a, you know, he'd heard a different form of this word, but it was a million years ago on Wordle. It was cynic, and it was CYNIC, and it took him so long to get that. He was like, I've heard cynical, but cynic? What? And now we use it as like a
don't be a cynic
inside joke about Wordle. We're super cool kids, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh. Anyways, Wordle's fun. Go play it.
It is fun. And Sudoku as well.
Absolutely. Anthony is now a Sudoku competitive player and does it all the time and loves it.
Yes, all of those are true. Not one of those things was a lie.
That's not the game we're playing. 2 truths and a lie. Anthony just finished his first game of Sudoku just before the stream, like literally right before we started.
Rob got today's Wordle in 2 attempts.
Rob!
Supposedly.
Hey, Rob, what's up? 2 attempts? Are you kidding me? That's when you're basically just guessing the word, which I hope someday I will get it in 1. But...
You get really, really lucky with your first guess, maybe.
That's insane.
Sometimes I've got 4 letters in my first guess, and I'm like, okay, let me just sit with this for a second and play with this.
But it could be poke or spoke or something. Wait, poke isn't enough word. Pokes or spoke. Ha ha!
Right.
So smart.
But sometimes it does work out.
Sometimes,
Didn't you say that your mom usually gets it in like 2 or 6?
She's a genius. I don't know how she does it. I don't understand how that brain works. I've honestly never seen any of her guesses. It's Dad texting me, your mother got it in 2. And I'm like, well, good for her. How is that
your
possible?
mother.
Your mother. Well, and you know Dad, he puts a lot of worth into like, did I do it right? And like he sees it as like a competition, jokingly, but like if he gets a 6 one day, he's like, I've lost it all, everything's the worst. I have no brain, I give up. And then the next day he gets it in 3, he's like, I'm back, baby.
I know there's someone I follow on Twitter who has been on a Wordle streak for, I don't know, like 60 tries or something, hasn't gotten it wrong once or something like that. I'm just inevitably waiting for that crash.
The day they're just like, I'm the worst, how could I have lost it? I got so lazy and greedy.
Well, I think the greedy part of like, I'm on a streak and that's the game I'm playing now. It's more of like, I just don't want to get it wrong instead of just playing the game.
I like just playing the game personally, but everybody has their own way of doing it.
Sometimes I rush through it and I get it wrong and I'm like, I don't care, I just wanted to play it.
Totally. Oh, on Quirtle sometimes, which is like Wordle times 4. The reason I like it is because they have practice games, so you can just keep doing it, which I know there's a version of Wordle that does that or whatever, but like, I don't know. Anyways, it's sometimes so frustrating to come up with whatever word that you're just like, stupid idiot or whatever. And it's just like, and then it gets over and you're like, oh, it was swell or whatever stupid word it was. No, it was the last one I did that with was something like, I can't remember what it was, but it was so weird, the letters that I had. I was like, my brain cannot do this, I give up. And then other times it's like I get all 4 within like no time at all. It's like 2 minutes and I got them. So
nice.
Luck of the draw. You never know.
I tried Quirtle for a little while, but I don't care for it.
It's whatever you want to do. By the way, earlier I saw Joe in the chat say, James! James just walked by and gave me a wide-eyed stare. I screamed his name at him. I see how it is.
Rob says these axolotls are incredibly cute.
Oh, they're so cute. Thank you. Yeah, I've really enjoyed painting on them and will continue to do so right now.
Dark Hour says, oh, this reminds me, I created an axolotl character way back. Let me go share it if I can find my sketchbook.
Show me your axolotls. I'll show you mine.
Also, Dark Hours is calling out James for not seeing Titanic.
Oh, James, she was calling you out for not seeing Titanic, so we've got to show that to you. Is anybody alive out there? Can anyone hear me? I love that movie so much when I was younger that I owned the, I actually think it was... Okay, Joe says, I'm staring back at you, James. Mr. Haven't seen the Titanic. I like this stare down. Yes, the Titanic. The other thing was, what was I gonna say? Oh, I was such a fan as a child that I got the 2 VHS box set of Titanic, and also got the CD of Celine Dion singing. I mean, it was the entire soundtrack, but I wasn't as into instrumentals back then, so it was just on repeat. My Heart Will Go On. It was amazing. What a time to be alive. What a time.
It was a good movie.
It was.
It holds up really well.
It is.
That reminds me, James Cameron's Avatar 2 is supposedly coming out later this year. I think there's supposed to be a trailer for it.
Do that.
In May.
Okay.
He's planned like 6 movies. Isn't that bonkers?
That's a lot.
It's a lot. I want to say it was 6.
I don't know how to feel about that. Obviously, I don't think the first one was my favorite movie.
No, it got so much flack for a lot of the content that it was, but also a lot of praise for the technical aspects of what it was doing and ushering in the 3D technology. I think that was the main draw for the movie, was
Look at us,
how immersive the 3D was. And it was really good.
Do you remember seeing it in theaters?
Yeah. Only because I saw it on a date with someone, and I was like really sick through the whole thing.
Oh no, that's horrible. Tell us.
And then he like went in for like a kiss or something, but I just turned it into a hug, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. And I think I was staying the night at your house that night, and I came back after the movie, but it was later in the night. And I just went into the bathroom and threw up.
Oh, you poor baby.
It was a bad first date.
That's so unfortunate.
We didn't go on more after that.
Really? It was the only date. Oh.
It's unfortunate. He was very sweet. Just bad timing.
Yeah. Upset stomach. We'll do that. Darn it.
But I was like sweating bullets through the whole thing, and I feel like there was parts of the movie where he's like trying to hold my hand, and then I was like, okay, I can't touch you right now. I'm like drenched in sweat, trying to not like.
He's like, wow,
right
he's
now.
really nervous. And you're like, I'm actually dying.
I was really bad at dates when I first started dating. Remember that one time when
you cudgeled
brought
me
you to the
into-
California Pizza Kitchen, and then surprise, you're on a date with me, and I didn't say anything the whole time.
Was that your first like date or something? How
Might have been.
Where were you in your spectrum of dating? Because I need to tell this story, but I need context first.
I don't remember, but yeah, it was probably one of the first dates that I went on.
Okay, Anthony's a shy bean.
Ooh, I'm blushing even now talking about it.
Honestly, he was way more shy back when I think we were in high school, right? Was that it?
Maybe you were still in high school.
Yeah.
I might have been graduated at that point.
Something like that. Anyways, Anthony said, hey, let's go to California Pizza Kitchen. Let's go eat some
No
food.
reason.
I'm going to take you. It's going to be my treat. It's like, let's go. And I was like, all in, obviously. Let's go to Bridgeport. So much fun.
Yeah.
And so on the way there, I believe you told me, by the way, we're going to meet someone here. And I was like, who? One of our friends? What is this? No, you don't know him. That guy I was talking to online, we're gonna go, I'm going on a date with him, basically. And I was so mad. I was like, what the hell?
I know, rightfully so. Everyone I ever tell this to is like, that is a weird and horrible thing to do.
Weird. Well,
Oh, that's
shy
me,
too.
though. Weird
I
and
wasn't
horrible.
like, oh yeah, let's go talk to a stranger. Like, no. And so
I know, you're even more shy than I am. In some social
you're my
contexts.
social butterfly. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
supposed to take me everywhere. But oh man, this guy was a talker, and also Anthony
It's really
wasn't.
nice.
It was a
No.
very strict dichotomy of like, nope, I'm not gonna
This
talk,
won't
and I'm gonna
work
go
out.
blush. And then this guy is like, I'm basically a salesman. Blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
if I ate anything, I would have thrown up.
And I like keep looking over at Anthony like, I don't know what to do.
Anything? I don't know either.
So I just talked the entire time. I
You
don't even
did
know
really
about
well.
what.
I appreciate you so much for that.
Well, needless to say,
I think he messaged me afterwards.
Really?
I think he was into it. He's like, wow, he's got a really cool friend.
Throuble? Yeah. Wow. Oh man, I still can't believe that happened to us. It feels like such a distant memory that I'm like, now it's funny, but
it's
back then
now.
I was like, you jerk.
It was probably funny the day after, honestly.
Maybe for you. I was
deal with life.
Oh man, but yeah, that was the only time that you did that. So I'm glad to say that you learned from your experiences, I suppose.
I think if it was the first date I went on, I just needed somebody there to be like, it's fine to do this. It's okay. They're not just going to meet you and reach across the table and strangle you to death.
If you are scared for your safety when meeting a stranger that you've only talked to online, I understand that. That is valid.
Oh, yeah,
Tell the person that you're taking with you. Communication is key.
Eventually. I did before we got there. So technically I did tell you before that.
Maybe ask it in the form of a question. Jeopardy rules always apply.
This is a date? Inflection is key.
Who is going on a surprise date with their friend's date?
Answer, daily double. Pew, 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 pew.
Oh my gosh. Well, California Pizza Kitchen has never been my favorite, but it also probably after that
probably didn't help.
Yeah. But we had many good times at Bridgeport. That was a little like outdoor mall area near where we went to school, and it was good times, man. You remember going to like the movie openings and the book openings. There was a border that was hopping whenever a new book came out. There would be like candy store. Do you remember that one in the center?
No, I don't remember the name of it, but yeah, the candy store is like a little kiosk type of.
It was a kiosk, but you go in and it's all glass on the roof, like a glass dome, and then it's just filled to the brim on every wall with candy. It was so colorful and bright. I once tried to illustrate it. It did not get finished because it was too much candy. But it was
one of those
really
pieces
fun.
you have to go back to.
Yeah,
I bet you
someday. Could. If I could ever find that.
With
sketch.
all those succulents that you would render out.
I mean, I've spent many an hour on a painting before. It's true. But
Dark Hour says, "Ha!
It was fun.
It seems like we've all had a surprise +1 on a date experience."
Oh, really? Do tell. I want to know everybody else's juicy stories. I guess you technically came on some dates with me if we count any of my interactions with James's dates.
I mean,
so
it's different.
It's different when you're friends first and then you become...
Well, also when you're like, hey, you want to go with me and James on this thing? Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to go to California Pizza Kitchen with just me, supposedly? Different.
Imagine if you worded it like that. You want to go to California Pizza Kitchen with just me?
Just
Little
me.
me. Yes, I would. Very much, best friend. Oh man, so good. All right. Oh, I need to work on the color.
Should have brought you on the date at the movie theater so that when he went in for like a hug or whatever,
oh, the vomit one.
Like, here, hug him. I can't. Right now. Hold his hand.
What is? Oh, in 30
this
Rock,
is from Anthony,
episode.
And you just like hold his hand. Sit between us.
Really shy. Trust me. On like maybe the 4th, 5th date, you'll get the actual hand. Wow.
Honestly, yeah. It takes me a while to work up to people and not feel a jumbled mess of just...
Hey, I understand.
Blushing.
Blushing. I can't deal with it. Well, I totally understand. I used to have the reaction of vomiting at the very idea that someone was hitting on me. I was just like, oh.
Because you were disgusted? Or because...
Yeah, it was just a
okay, mine's not really a
reaction.
disgust thing. Okay, I'm not disgusted that someone wanted to go on a date with me or wanted to hug or kiss or hold my hand.
Oh, God.
I'm just so nervous that I get physically ill.
Oh, man. It did make dating hard. Or it would have if I had ever dated.
Yeah, true.
Oh man, but yeah, that's the fun stories that you hope you get after dating a bit, because it's like without it being funny, it's just sad. So I'm glad that we can laugh about the vomiting or needing to.
Yeah. Joe has their story in the chat. I kind of shot myself in the foot with mine. Did the whole the more the merrier. Sure, your mate could come along for the start of it. We did end up having an actual one-on-one date in the end. Ultimately, it turned out to be one of my favorite first dates. I obliterated them in Guitar Hero 3, 10 out of 10. Which reminds me, I went on a date once and we were playing a video game and I started like getting pretty good and beating their score.
Oh no.
And then they asked me to leave. It was on Valentine's Day. I think a couple years prior to that, my Valentine's Day was spent with my mom at the movie theater watching Slumdog Millionaire.
Okay.
I don't have very good Valentine's Day experiences.
No, come on. That's pretty sweet.
I mean, only because I couldn't find someone to go on a date with.
Yeah, but it's still sweet to go to a movie with your
mom.
mom. Cute. But
yeah, sure, but it's also sad compared to I don't want this to be the thing happening on Valentine's Day, but sure, plan B.
This is why Valentine's Day to me is like a hit and a miss, where it's like it could be a cute holiday, but also I don't want people to feel bad for no reason. Like, just remind people that they feel alone? I don't like that.
Yeah, that's true.
Poopy doopy. But I am blanking now on the story. I need to know. Okay, so the playing games too good and getting kicked out. Maybe they felt sick. Ever consider it? Maybe they were like, oh no, I'm all sweaty. I gotta get him out of here.
None of those signs were happening, so I don't think so.
It was just, I'm a sore loser. Could you leave?
It was pretty much that.
Well, then you don't want him anyway. Sometimes
nope, I 100% don't.
Yeah.
I laughed afterwards. I was like, okay, yeah.
What was the game? Do you remember?
It was something on PlayStation, some sort of fighting game, kind of like Tekken. It might have been Tekken.
Oh my
Tekken
gosh.
Adjacent. Street Fighter-esque.
You're pretty good at those in my memory of you playing them. So...
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised that I was better than he was.
Well,
but I think what led up to it was like, this is my favorite game and I'm pretty good at it, was how he led into it. And then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, nice. Pretty good at
it. Guess what? I'm even better. It's like, I've been pro in the circuit for 15 years. You're just like, heh, button goes push.
Button goes push. How'd you like those furry controllers I showed you earlier?
Oh my god! Cringy. But, I mean, I would want to feel them. So Anthony sent a picture. Yeah. You should put it in the Discord.
There's like a Sonic the Hedgehog 2 promo thing going on.
No, really?
And I think that's like a prize, is an Xbox that has those controllers with Sonic's fur on one and Knuckles' fur on another.
Oh
and
my gosh.
On the console, there's like it's a black console with a gold ring around the vent, which is also in a circle. Looks pretty cool.
Could they have one that's themed with the gems? Because I've always wanted to hold those. Like, just...
Oh, that's, yeah. Chaos controller!
Oh my gosh, the possibilities! Are you kidding me? Media or whatever. Jump on this.
Media.
That's how I talk now.
Where is that article? I wonder if it's still in my newsfeed.
Oh man, that's good. I like that a lot. Chaos controller. Ugh. By the way, Joe wants the number of that person who kicked you out. Or no, the address. Just to talk.
Just to talk. Don't waste your breath.
They ain't worth your time.
They're not worth your time.
Just like a little dating advice to everybody. Don't be a sore loser. It's really unattractive.
Or a gloating winner.
Oh, yeah. Any of that.
Not that I was, but...
Oh, no.
If I had been, it would have been more acceptable for like I don't like playing with you or you in general, so please leave.
I don't like you in general.
Oh,
And then they're like, please
that
leave.
checks out.
That's how it really went down.
Fuck's controllers.
Oh man, but that would set up so badly for like the future. I can't imagine what arguments you would get in, because like you love playing video games and you're good at them. So like having somebody who's like that, I feel like would just be probably one of the more toxic relationships you could possibly get into with your interests specifically. So
Yeah.
I'm glad.
Copy image. Should I put this in all the best games?
Yeah,
Yes.
sure. Seems
Where is that one?
All the
best games.
Best games. We are on the Discord, by the way. If you want to join it, there is a link in the description. Check it on out. And I will show you these controllers.
Ridiculous.
Look at them. Furry beasts. And the reply I sent to Anthony was, just think about what they're like after a year of semi-greasy fingers on them.
I know. Yeah, you have to wash your hands before using these. And then, I don't know, give them a bath every now and again. Scratch behind their ears.
This reminds me of the last time I played. It was Mario Party with some of our friends that live down in Texas. They, we get together every once in a while to play, and I was like, you know what? I really want some popcorn. So I made some, and then I realized that James and I are both handling the controllers and getting like fistfuls of popcorn, and then just like completely destroying the napkins in between the things. So that's what I think of with the furry controllers. Like, there's no way you get all the butter off. There's little bits, and that fur would just... Ew. By the way, on YouTube, More Calamari says immediate sweaty palms with the controllers. Yes. Ugh.
Maybe.
Even just the natural sweatiness of your hands. But, it's fine. It's fine. Ooh, Joe found the axolotl. Discord.
Found what axolotl?
Their old axolotl that they made. They had an axolotl character.
Oh, right. On current work. Not current work.
Ooh, I do love the current work though right now. Let's check it out. We've
nice.
got Kendall made.
Wait, this is from a while ago.
Today at 11:20.
1 year ago. Continue.
I found the axolotl. 1 year ago, my local community lost 10 people in the King Super shooting. Reposting the therapy art I made. That is amazing.
Yeah,
the artwork, the shooting is horrific, as we all know.
10 flowers.
Gun laws. My God. And all the things. Let's have multiple.
Yeah, what's all the
solutions.
symbolism in this again, Kendall? Oh wait, Kendall's not in chat today. 10 flowers for the people, but I wonder if there's a meaning behind the stars as well. And then a candle's usually just for a vigil, right?
Yeah.
Axolotl biped.
I know, it's like an emotional whiplash between the two.
It really is.
This axolotl is so freaking cute. I cannot handle it. Oh my gosh. It's got like a little mushroom hat. Oh. This feels very like it should belong in Amphibia. Joe, are you watching Amphibia? I can't remember. We are on the most recent season, and it's real good. And I love this. Axolotl biped. That's their name. I need a namey name. Like, let's name him.
Abe. Abe. How about?
Abe? Abesolotl.
Well, I mean, that's what I came up with, but Joe might have an actual name. Abe it is!
Abe baby.
Which we learned they're all in their larval state, so axolotls are babies.
We learned that, and Anthony immediately said procreating, like, babies or something.
It's weird. Like it. I don't like it. Because the definition was like, they're in their larval form, but still able to breed. And I was like, that's weird. That's a weird concept.
How about not? But also, just remember, they're axolotls. It's fine. It's
fine.
Yeah. Alright, these guys. I find it so satisfying to put the lines on their little tail fins. So, watch closely.
Oh, yeah. Whoa.
Oh,
Oh.
Oh, ooh. Really?
Maybe you should watch Blue's Clues.
What?
Huh?
Maybe you should watch Blue's Clues? Is that what you said to me?
Oh, Ashley and I were just talking about watching Blue's Clues yesterday.
And the consensus is?
We both enjoyed it.
Yes. I mean, it's a detective show for children. It's great.
Yeah, so why wouldn't Ashley and I currently love it?
Duh. I mean, it's Death on the Nile meets
like
puppies.
True Detective on HBO, but Blue Detective.
Oh, yes.
The weirdest crossover. Do you think Blue could be
10.
a guest on True Detective?
I'm looking for Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper, right? Is that what it was? And their baby Paprika?
So, yeah.
Oh, so good.
Dark Hours asks, Abe, short for Abraham, right? I didn't think of the full name Abraham. I just thought Abe. So
Abe baby.
It's whatever you want it to be, I suppose. And then Dark Hours goes on to ask, hey Anna.
Yo.
What will come of these little creatures? Sticker sheet? Postcard? Sticker sheet, sticker sheet, sticker sheet.
This is what you want? I have never made a sticker sheet just because I don't know how. I usually... Oh.
We could solve that problem.
Okay. And if it costs the right thing, because, like, money ain't everywhere. Don't grow
money
on trees.
Ain't everywhere. Don't grow on trees. Have you been playing Animal Crossing? Speaking of money that doesn't grow on trees.
You loopholer. How dare you? Stop being so clever. No, I haven't been playing Animal Crossing lately. I need to get back into it. I've actually been kind of waiting for the end of this project so that I can get the DLC and live my best Animal Crossing
Oh,
life.
That's true. You were mentioning that a little while ago.
A little while. But yeah, I just got the kind of... Okay, so notes on the revisions, if you want a book update. I've been working on a book for the past forever, and it is coming to an end soon-ish. So I thought that it was going to be more of a crunch, because that was what they told me. But when they gave me the revisions, it turns out that I have until April 20th to turn in the revisions. And if that all goes well, that would be the end of it. So I have a potential end date.
The 20th.
Which honestly, I thought they were going to push for like March. So I was like, oh, it's going to be a crunch. It's going to be a crunch. And then it's like, oh, okay.
Huh.
Not too bad. I mean, it's not bad. Yeah.
Brittany said, Abracadabra?
Was that with Abe?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was a stretch. Which reminds me, we should stretch. Oh.
Not yet. We've got 15 minutes.
Hey, stretch whenever you want to. It's not time
Oh,
dependent.
okay. We're not doing monkey paws at 4 today. We're doing it whenever you guys want to.
I'm saying stretch, not necessarily the sacred monkey paws that have been passed down in the tradition. That's what Ryan was doing them today with Christy, I believe it was, the latest guest, and he was saying something like it was passed down to me from Anna, and I think she got it from someone else, and I was like, ah, yes, the tradition lives on. Something to that effect. It is a sacred
about
thing.
stickers,
Yeah.
Dark Hours is saying Moo/sticker app should be able to make you do this, right? I don't know if Moo has like die cut stuff, but sticker app maybe.
I love sticker app. That's usually where I do my stickers. The thing is, whenever I bring up the sticker sheet option, I don't know how they come up with the cuts, because with the the regular stickers, what you do is have like a backgroundless PNG, so it's like there's just the outline of the actual art itself, and then it makes the cut lines based on the artwork. So if you have like a clean edge, it's a clean edge, but if you're like me and have really messy paint, little flecks like laying around everywhere, then when it makes its edge, it can sometimes be all bloopy and weird because you have flecks around. So you have to make sure it's clean. Then you put it in, and then it does like big, medium, small on how much space is around the artwork. I usually do the smallest so that you get most artwork for your buck. And then you can make it a color or leave it white. So That's all I really know. And then there's like different textures. I really like the matte ones. They feel nice. So, yeah, that's all I know about that. But if you guys have any info about the sticker sheeting, I would be interested. If it's a decent price, I know that they are decent quality. So I like that.
Yay.
Yay.
They go on to say, also, if not, get sticker paper from the local store. Then message me and I will show you my ways.
I need to know ways because our printer is real not good with that. Every time I've tried printing something lately, it's just like the most desaturated, off-valued kind of thing. And I know that some of that comes down to the type of paper that you're using, so I probably don't have it all optimally set up, but I also don't think that the printer is also optimal. And I always think, someday I'll invest in a really good printer. That someday ain't today, baby.
No, that's definitely something in your future, though, with online shop and all that.
I know. I can't wait. It will be an exciting
day.
It's just...
It will be. Ooh, I dream about it.
Yeah, we dream about it. It's one of those, like, you gotta spend money to make money, and it's annoying, because I'm like, but where do you get the money that you spend? The world is expensive. My groceries are like twice as expensive as they were a year ago. It's ridiculous.
I know. It's bonkers.
But, you know, we live.
Phooey. Which
I'm grateful for health.
Kind of like an Ouroboros situation where it's like, if I open a shop, I might be able to make more money, but I have to have more money to open the shop to make more money.
Exactly.
Okay, let's set up a lemonade stand and see what we could get.
What we need is an investor so that they can just put in like $1 million. And then I'm like, I'm very confident I could make that money back.
$1 million? Yeah. For your small online shop.
Yes.
Just to get started.
Suddenly we are the online shop. You have no way to escape us. Our advertising's everywhere. Our products are aplenty. It's going to be great.
Ugh, money is so unfair sometimes.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. Have you heard about capitalism, Anthony?
I try not to.
Let's talk about it. No, it's just, it's the world that we live in. And again, there's no benefit to us being stressed about it. We just try to live within the system as much as we can and change the system as much as we can as well.
Yeah. Dark Hours asks, last question for now. How far away is your online shop and what do I need to do to help you launch it ASAP?
$1 million. No. Once my book is done, that will be a very big point at which I can put more energy towards it. And then also, I think it would be getting prints going is like the big, like, we don't have to have prints to open the shop, obviously. Anthony and I have talked about this. We're going to open with whatever we have, which is plenty of postcards and stickers at the moment from leftovers of Patreon. But I think that, like, that'll probably just have to be the opening. I really want to make prints at some point. I just, by the way, let me show you.
April 21st is going to be a wild day.
21st. Everything
the day
happens.
After you finish, yeah.
Ooh, I just got this print from Mod Behance. Oh, I should just change the screen. Let's really look at it. There we go. Look at this gorgeous print.
Oh, the kitty has such long legs.
Long legs McGee. It's true. This is Mod Behance, Maudbihan. And I hope I'm saying that right. But I ordered some stuff from her because, first of all, they were having a sale, and I needed some more stationery for Patreon, so I'm gonna be writing my thank you notes on this little baby. Cute. Which is adorable. It's got a little what do you call it? Little duckling in the teacup.
Yeah.
And so when I was ordering that, I was like, I need more because everything was so cute. I also got another little mini print that I actually put on James's bulletin board, so it's adorable.
Very nice.
Anyways, I had to show that off real quick.
Bulletin board, you say? Does that mean what I think it means?
I put up the bulletin board for him, yes. This bulletin board has been sitting in our room for so long, which our room doubles as James's office. And I just one day was like, I'm going to put it up. And so I did. And then nothing was on it for several weeks. And then I was like, I'm going to put something on it. Someday
I'm glad it's getting some use. The other day, I was feeling like, I don't know, out of it. I didn't know what to do, so I rearranged the upstairs living room.
Yeah.
I think that helped snap me out of it. Nice. And then I rearranged it back because I ended up not liking it as much.
That's the risk you take, but it's
and
also
I got bruises on my arms for doing it all by myself.
And was it worth it?
Yeah.
Just to change something.
It was, honestly.
Literally
even if I was
same thing
not satisfied
with
how it turned out and put everything back the way it was. I just needed to do something, and I think the exercise component of it, and then sitting in a space that felt different,
oh my gosh,
even if it was for only like 25 minutes.
Yes,
it's like, yeah, I needed this.
No, I know
everything
exactly
could go back now.
What you mean. Yeah. This is the conversation that I have every single time I want to change the layout of something. I'm like, James, I will change it back myself if it does not work. This is not a risk at all. It's just me needing a refresh of this tiny, tiny space. That's why right now you guys can see my plants instead of my couch. I just did this exact same thing. So yeah, I feel you big time, Anthony, and I hope that it was just so satisfying for those 25 minutes.
Well, it would have been more satisfying if I was like, yeah, this really works. The space just feels better this way. Yeah. Instead of like, no, this has to go back, but it feels weird in here now. So that's different.
Yeah,
for my brain,
I like it feeling weird. Ooh.
I think about rearranging my bedroom sometimes. I just watched a video about feng shui.
Ooh.
And apparently I'm not supposed to have my bed under my window.
Get it out
Negative chi, but I don't know. I'd have to... With moving beds around, it's a little bit more troublesome than the couch upstairs.
You gotta, like, empty the whole room.
I could slide the couch, but the bed, I have to, like, get the mattress off. It does not slide across the floor at all.
That's unfortunate, but yeah, I think it's important for you to get to change stuff, even if it's a ton of work. It's just so beneficial.
I want to knock down this wall and just open up a whole
just
new
take
avenue
Sammy's
of
room
space.
as your own and just like own
no, the
everything.
Living room.
Yes. I agree. So all the roommates on board and the landlord? Okay.
No, I don't think any of them would be.
You don't know until you ask.
Well, I have asked the landlord for things, and one of them was about like knocking a hole in the wall to put an egress window in the downstairs living room so it could be coded as a bedroom, so we could use that. But no, that didn't work.
Just no.
Almost. I feel like I got close. I offered to pay for half of the construction work.
Wow.
And he still said no. He said tempting though, and that he would think about it, and then got back to me, and it was eventually like, no.
It's a soft no. Like, your offer was appreciated, but no.
I did get him to cut down the tree in the backyard. That was very annoying.
That's good, definitely.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have the wood from that?
Yeah, it has to dry out for 6 months to a year, and it was cut down, was it December, January? Something like that.
5 million years ago.
So we've got some time left before the wood is seasoned enough to actually burn.
Yeah.
But it would be so satisfying to burn that stupid tree.
Sorry, tree. You served us well?
It's actually known as like an invasive weed in our area.
No way.
Yeah.
What kind of tree was it again?
I think it's called like Tree of Heaven or something like that.
Tree of Hell. Perfect.
Really. You know how ginkgos, the different types of them, one could smell and the other one doesn't?
Yeah.
That's, I feel like, what was happening with this tree. It would drop an insane amount of pollen, and it stunk. It was really gross. And it would also drop these leaf sticks, like the sticks that the leaves would grow out of, would fall off and then just get really hard, and you couldn't like walk in the backyard without shoes on.
Yeah.
Or you'd have to just like rake it all the time. And then it would drop sprouts everywhere. And you'd have to like pull up these tree saplings all of the time. So annoying. And the root system on those things was crazy. I don't know. I'm glad that it's gone, and I hope it stays gone forever. There's more that I could see throughout the neighborhood. I'm like, do not drift into this yard ever again.
Get out. Yeah, invasive species are real dangerous. That's exactly what happens in a lot of Portland with bamboo. It just grows like crazy, and it will travel from neighborhood to neighborhood.
Bonkers. His plan is to plant a tree there at the end of April, I think he was saying.
Did you guys get an input on what kind of tree?
No, we don't.
Darn it.
That's fine, just, though. Like, I trust his landscaping judgment, other than that tree that was there. Which I don't know if it was there when he bought the property, or if it like was like, oh, what a fun sapling to have. I'll just let it grow. Because if it was there already and it was already established, then I get it. Like, taking a tree down costs money, but it probably cost more money in the end than it would have years ago when he bought the property in, I think it was like 2009 or something.
Jeez.
But we were even talking to our next door neighbor about it, and she said she also hated the tree because it grew up and her fruiting tree that she has in her backyard stopped producing fruit.
Oh no.
When it started getting as big as it did. So yeah. And it also drops so many saplings in her yard.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, if it's like killing out the other trees, that's what true invasive species are like, you know? They take all that nutrients for themselves.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
But we've got a Japanese maple in the backyard as well, and he's got some other like landscapey things that he's done on the like the back wall. And I'm assuming whatever tree he puts in is going to be something that he actually puts thought into of buying instead of just something that fell into the yard and is growing there. So maybe it's another Japanese maple, maybe it'll be cherry blossom tree, I don't know. But I'm sure it will look nice.
Do you have any ideas of like what you think are the coolest trees? Do you have favorites?
So I probably do, but I'd have to like sit down and look at them. I don't have any off the top of my head. I mean, cherry blossoms are beautiful, but they're so fleeting. I think I would want something that's more vibrant for longer.
Yeah.
In my own yard.
However,
or a fruiting tree that produces like cherries. I like cherry trees, but then you have to worry about like all the pits and stuff falling.
Oh man. Yeah, that's exactly it. Is like all the fruit, the ornamental cherries and such. By the way, Elisandra's in the chat. Hello, and we've also got Oko Veeks Art saying hello. Welcome.
So many hellos happening.
We're painting axolotls. We started this yesterday on the stream with Ryan Selvey. You should watch that. It was on Adobe Live. And today we are just working on a lot of axolotls, and we've got a lot all done.
How'd you choose your color palette?
I painted one and just kind of tried to figure out what I wanted. I actually looked at some reference, and they come in all sorts of different colors. There's a golden one.
Whoa.
There's one I think that they called Wild, and it was like a mossy green and brown.
That's fun.
Are magical creatures. But yeah, I went with kind of the idea of I think they call it lucite or something like that. It's very close to what looks like what do you call that? When there's no pigment. Pigment left the skin. It's really white. What's that called?
Pale. I don't know.
Abalone. Golly, what's it called? Come on. I know those words. Brain, kick in.
When all the pigment leaves the skin specifically, like it's a human trait?
What's it called?
Talk around it.
It's white. When it happens in rats, their eyes turn red.
Albino.
Albino. Thank you. I was like A-B, albino. Okay, thank you. Yes, so albino ones and lucite, I think it's called, or lucidite or something like that. I don't know. are kind of similarly colored, where they're either white or pink on the body, and then they have the pink frills, pink or red, like kind of thing. And so I kind of went with that idea, but I wanted it to be a little bit more like opalescent, and so that's where the purple blue shifts came into it, and that just works so well with pinks. And so yeah, I did like the tiniest little test piece, and then just basically took the colors out of that and then used that for the stream. Yeah,
I like it. It's very pleasing color palette.
thank you.
You've got the swatches up on the top, right? I thought I saw them earlier.
Yeah,
there they are.
There they are.
I like how you laid them out. It feels very like a record store where they're just stacked next to each other.
Hey, that's good to know. I actually, right now, in the book that I'm doing revisions on, I have a library scene where there's a lot of, like, books stacked, so it's good to know that even just having overlapping colors can read as stacked books.
Yeah.
Yay.
Pretty simple.
We'd love to see it. Simple, but also if you make it complicated, man, it can take hours to draw repetitious things. It's like drawing crowd scenes. No, thank you.
I was watching the documentary about Hayao Miyazaki. There's actually 2 on HBO. This is the more recent one. I want to say it's called The Neverending Man. And it's his creative process through the short film that he made, Boro the Caterpillar. And there's this scene where it's a CGI thing.
Yeah.
In the end, but he does all his work like traditionally, and to help the CGI artists work on it, he had some like animated things that he did, or just some like drawings and stuff. But there was this sequence he did where it was like 100 tiny caterpillars just like falling over into each other, like down this center of 2 leaves, kind of like a crevasse. And it was crazy just seeing them like all individually drawn, and then there was this one on a leaf that was like caught and wiggling, and just the amount of work and eyesight that goes into that of the detail. It's very impressive.
I also want to know how long it takes, because like they make it seem like he could just bust that out and be like done, but like physically, how?
I don't think they ever talked about an actual timeline. Throughout the documentary, you could see in the top left, they'll be like June, October, December, and then other times it cuts to Miyazaki saying things like, it just takes me so much longer now that I'm older. Like I could have done this a lot faster when I was younger, but it just like is mentally taxing on me when I sit down and like how to animate this. It just takes me so much longer. So I don't know, it does make it seem like he can do it really fast, but in the actual documentary he's like, this takes me a long time, way longer than it used to.
But longer than it used to means probably still 10 times faster than anybody else could.
I don't know.
Crazy. But yeah, I think
the whole reason he wanted to do it CGI was because he didn't think he would be able to do it on his own, even for a short, where he thought the CGI would just help the animation go smoother or faster. They didn't show the actual animated short at the end of this, and I don't know if that's because it wasn't finished by the end of the documentary or what. It's not available to watch anywhere that I saw, other than the Ghibli Museum, which is hard to get to. But he's currently working on what I believe is actually going to be his last feature film.
You believe?
Yeah, well, because he retired after The Wind Rises.
Yeah, he's retired.
And then
like
he came out of retirement to work on Boro the Caterpillar. He was in retirement for, they said, 16 months, and then came back for Boro. And he was just saying, like, it's so boring doing nothing. I'd rather be doing this. So there's no doubt in my mind that he's going to be working until the day he dies.
Yeah.
Because he pretty much said that in the documentary. But he was also saying about this new film, I think it's based off of a novel that came out in the early 1900s, I want to say. The Way You Live. I want to say that's the title of it. But he was saying that it's like a gift for his grandson. And I'm paraphrasing here, but he said, this is a gift for my grandson as like a message of grandpa's going to be leaving this world soon, but here's like something that I wanted to give to you. That's paraphrasing, but to the effect of he knows he's getting up there. And in this documentary, he just talked about how a lot of his colleagues and people that he knows, even like somewhat younger than him, have been in poor health and passing away. And he's like, I'm tired of going to funerals. Like, why am I still here? So yeah, those documentaries are very bittersweet. It's amazing to see the inner workings of Ghibli, but Hayao Miyazaki as a person philosophically is very pessimistic.
Oh yeah. It reminds me of Roald Dahl, who I remember like in elementary school doing a project on him and learning that this author who did some of my favorite works like Matilda, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, BFG, was deeply cynical and kind of hated children. It was just like they're all the worst, and like just so many things. And so yeah, it's
Miyazaki loves children. There is that difference there. He specifically says like, I do this for children.
That's wonderful. But he's still
I think he's just becoming cynical because of the politics around stuff. Like The Wind Rises, in that documentary, he was talking about how a scene had to be cut out because when they were showing it, they said something along the lines of the government wouldn't like this to be in the film, and it also wasn't like doing well with the private sector. So it's weighing those things of like artistic integrity, the story you want to tell, but also pleasing the markets that are going to be showing it so that they have whatever it is that they think they need that sells a movie. And then also the government weighing in, saying like, you're portraying the country in a poor light because of these sentiments, so you can't have that. And then him just going along the lines of saying like, this is the end of creative freedom. Like, this is going to be the end of Ghibli because we can't do what we want to do.
When you can't say what you want to say, then what's the point?
And then specifically, I guess Ghibli is Miyazaki's studio. He left whatever studio was before this, and then started this one. So when he announced his retirement, it pretty much just shut the doors for everyone there, where they went on hiatus, quote unquote, but people just went off and did other jobs elsewhere. I think a couple of people came back for Boro, and I don't know who all came back for How You Live or How Do You Live. I'm sure more because it's an actual feature-length film, but he was pretty adamant while he was working on Boro in the documentary, saying like, I probably won't do a feature again because it just is so taxing and takes so much work.
Yeah.
But then at the end of it, he's like, this is inspiring me. I think maybe
I can't leave it.
I can do one more.
Jeez, he's addicted. Ugh.
It's just, he's like a genius when it comes to it. And like what he said, he took multiple retirements and he just gets bored.
Yeah.
He wants to do his craft that he's good at, and it just takes him longer.
Definitely.
But that's just what he wants to do. And he said he asked his wife to please understand that this is how he wants to live out the rest of his life.
Golly, I wonder how she feels. We need a documentary on her.
I was thinking about it too. His son made a brief appearance in one of the documentaries, and it does not seem like he's very happy with his line of work. He kind of fell into the role of director.
Yeah.
And he directed a couple, but he just seemed very downtrodden about working there, especially when it wasn't things that he wanted to work on specifically. Well, and then there was another, there was another producer there. I don't know if producer is the right term, but Miyazaki, and there's another prominent director at Ghibli. I forget their name. I want to say it starts with a T. I should know it because they mentioned it multiple times throughout the documentary, but he wasn't featured as heavily. Anyway, he worked on My Neighbors the Yamadas and Tales of Princess Kaguya, those movies. And the producer, quote unquote, was saying like Miyazaki doesn't want to be working on the film he's doing right now, and the other director also doesn't want to be working on the film they're doing right now.
Great.
So he was just trying
Switch
to
'em.
appeal to Goro in that way of Goro is Miyazaki's son. Of like, I hear what you're saying, but that's not really how this works. Takahata, yeah. That's the other one. But yeah, it was kind of weird to have that little snippet of like, wait, why are you showing this to us? This feels almost random of, oh yeah, here's Goro just being sad in this room with two other people for no reason. Like there was no lead up that I remember of like, here's why we're in this room with these three people. And then there was no follow up after of like, what happened after that? It was just a weird snippet.
Just get back to work, I guess.
Man. There was also another
Mm-hmm.
part of one of the documentaries with, I think, Boro the Caterpillar, where some CGI artists that were involved with AI deep learning wanted to give a presentation to Miyazaki, and they showed him this like grotesque zombie-like figure.
Yeah.
And Miyazaki was not having any of it. Like, rightfully so. Like, this man is working on a wholesome caterpillar short. And you come in here and you show him that? For what reason?
How dare you put a zombie in front of the eyes of our wholesome cutesy guy? Ugh.
I honestly don't know how it happened. How did it, like, I don't know.
Maybe they watched Mononoke or something and they were like, hey, there's some gore. Oh?
Well, maybe. But I feel like the premise for them showing up for that demo was saying that deep AI could potentially in the future paint things that look like they were hand-drawn or hand-painted by a human.
Wasn't
and then
that
that's the tech demo you show?
Yeah.
What?
Well, that was
and it hit Miyazaki in a weird way because it just brought up a memory of a disabled friend.
Oh gosh.
And you could just feel it was palpable in the room and in my living room how much disdain he had for it. And everybody at that board table, and there was at least 10, just looked like, oh no, we made Dad really mad.
Yeah, but also like they were trying to sell something to him. It wasn't just Dad. It was like, you ain't getting this this project. But it turns out they did, right? In the end, they worked on Boro.
No, that was a different team, which
was different.
Yeah, like the team working on Boro I don't think was involved with that at all, at least to my recollection. This seemed like it was a different startup. Just talking to Miyazaki about the potential, because maybe they wanted to get involved with Ghibli in the future of like, if we do CG with Ghibli, then it could potentially still look like the way you want it to look.
Yeah.
And not like these other Pixar or, these other films that have that CGI stereotypical look.
Yeah, for sure.
But just that demo was a bad way to go about it. And
Definitely.
It just hit the wrong chord with Miyazaki.
To the point of offense, which is like really
to the point of offense,
intense.
yeah. Where he said like, you guys could make this if you want, but I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to just like get up and walk out, and like, maybe even leave. Like it felt like he was maybe about to cry. It was very weird to watch. Ugh.
Yeah.
But a cute documentary about the Boro stuff.
Yeah.
When
Boro's
you get to see
adorable.
the cute stuff, but
yeah.
Miyazaki himself could be pretty mean sometimes to some of those animators.
Oh my gosh, so mean. And also very like work minded all the time. Like, do not go to him for work-life balance advice. There is none.
He doesn't have it.
But also, just a takeaway from that, I think, is definitely don't idolize the creators of anything. Oh, and rightfully so. Alessandra says monkey paw time. We are over it.
Oh yeah.
Woo. But thank you for talking about that documentary. It's a very good one. I remember half watching it and then half having James describe to me what was happening. I kind of missed that scene where it was the AI learning, but he told me about it and I was like, cringe.
It was so cringy.
Oh, it's bad. If you're new here, this is a segment where we like to remind you to take care of your body and slow down for a mo to do some stretches with us. What we're going to do is called monkey paws. First step is we put our hands out in front of ourselves, fingers to the sky, palms away, and then we curl our fingers into what we call a monkey paw. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Great job. I'm so excited to see this Ryan thing.
Yes! Oh my gosh. I think you'll have to film it for Kendall, because Kendall is very excited about seeing you react. Second pose, we put our fingers to the ground, palms towards ourselves, and then curl our fingers in. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Whoop, whoop, whoop. Third pose, we flip our palms out, fingers to the ground, curl them in. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Great job. And fourth pose, we put our fingers to the sky, palms towards ourselves, and then curl our fingers in. Ooh, ooh, ah, ah.
Ooh, ah, ah.
And we repeat these poses holding for about a second each, around 10 times, so that we get a nice stretch in our wrists. And that if we do this regularly, you won't make the faces like Ryan does. It's good. So stretch.
Yeah, that poor man in such pain.
Anthony Jackson says, Ryan did a great job. Can't wait for tomorrow. He's doing so great. I can't believe this whole offset thing. If you haven't tuned in, definitely check out Adobe Live this week. Ryan Selvey is doing a ton to offset the Adobe Live team being on vacation. And he's also a streamer regularly here on Behance and has a subscription as well, so you can even get custom made graphics like what he makes for all of these streams. So it's amazing.
He made one for you for free, kind of.
I think that I should definitely subscribe to him for like 10 months for all the things he's made. I think it started with, there was a screen cap of me, I can't remember what it was from, like maybe he was looking at a thumbnail or something of one of our videos, and it was just me looking like, and he screen capped it and then put like a wiggle on it, and then I think it was like existential dread or something underneath, and he just pokes that button whenever I come on. It's just like existential dread. Hi, Anna.
Right.
It's so good. Ugh. He's got all sorts of things like that though. Like every time somebody comes on to stream who is a regular, who is a subscriber, they get their own just special intro, like fully graphically animated. It's amazing. And after this, we are going to gently just shake out our hands to loosen them back up. Unlike Ryan, who does gently.
If you shake them faster, you get done faster.
And then we like to roll our shoulders, loosen them up, and do some neck stretches. We put our ear as high as we can on each side. Big yawn. Also, your reminder to close your eyes, take a break from the screens, and also drink some water. Oh, here it is.
Like a dungeon dragon.
Like a dungeon dragon. And then we look to the side as far as is comfortable. And then to the other one. It actually turned out really sunny today. Hot dang.
I know. After this, I'm going to go on a walk.
I think that's a plan.
I was looking at the forecast and it said like it would be the warmest at 5 o'clock and still sunny.
How perfect.
And that's when we end, so
Let's go.
I'm vominosing out of here as soon as I can.
Not vomiting, but vominosing. Okay, good.
Right, I got all the vomiting done 10 years ago.
I did my vomiting 10 years of it.
Oh boy.
Alright, so when we're done yawning and stretching, then we're going to get back into it. Take care of yourself. That's the reminder. There you go. Good job, everybody.
You did it. You're healthy now.
You're healthy now, suddenly. Moisturized. Unbothered. In your lane. Healthy. Yeah, that's right. Chug, 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 chug. Alright, so we've got these three on the right and the bottom one pretty much there. I still have the soft light layer to do over it, but that takes almost no time and it's like a finishing touch, so we don't really need to do that right now. But the four on the top and left are definitely in need of some care. Look at this guy. He's just struggling. Ugh. Do you think this is all the same axolotl, or are they different ones?
Oh, I was thinking different.
Okay, name them.
Well, we've got a
B-
B.
Abe, Beeb, Seeb, Deeb,
Perfect. Ebe.
and then Jocelyn.
Was that 8?
The other ones aren't named. I don't know. Don't come to me for names, that's what I tell you. Do you have any plans this weekend?
This coming weekend?
Yas.
No.
Not yet? Not gonna play It Takes Two with your online friends? Strangers.
No.
Well, you gotta come over and play some Animal Crossing.
I have to wait for you to have free time.
You know, it's fine. We're not crunch
It's
time
not.
anymore. It's
Well,
just
I guess that's true.
traditions.
But I was trying to make the most of coming over of like a whole weekend.
A whole thing of it. Oh, heck yeah. No, I agree. I want you to make the most of it as well. I want to go to the beach, man.
Yeah.
Craving beachdom.
Oof.
Oof.
It's gonna be good when we actually do.
Let's do it. Today.
All right. Okay.
All right. Okay.
If we leave now, we could probably make it there by sunset.
Ugh. I want to roll
Tempting,
in the
tempting.
sand when it's hot.
That won't be for months.
Darn it. Darn you, sand! Should we fly down to California and get some really warm sandy beaches?
I think they have those there. I've never been to a beach in California.
Oh, this is one thing I wanted to talk to you about. So Lightbox is happening this year in person.
Oh, yeah, that's true. In September, right?
October, I believe. I think I saw them posting about that. They just posted that they are going to be opening applications for like having a table soon. That's all I know.
Oh, yeah.
But
Were
yeah.
you considering that?
I am so not considering that right now, but I also want to know your thoughts on it and the thoughts of the group. Because Lightbox is wonderful. If you haven't been, it's a artist conference and it's fantastic. We went the first year it happened, and then after that a little panini came along. So the like it coming back is kind of I would say a pretty big deal in the artist community, you know?
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about this generally earlier, not Lightbox specific, but TED events is coming to Portland at the Moda Center in May. I've been to one of these TED events in the past. It was at the Keller Auditorium. That was in like 2017 or something. I don't remember. But I felt like May was too soon. October, on the other hand, it's hard to tell. There's so much that goes into something like this, like current cases locally where the event would be held, California, just more populous, people coming from literally all over the world, mostly from North America, I'd say, but coming from everywhere. So definitely taking that into consideration of even if you did have a good handle on what the cases in that city are, you're bringing in people from everywhere, so that kind of just throws that out the window a little bit.
Yeah, there's no controlling it at that point.
The talks about another booster or another vaccine, I think, have been rumbling for like the efficacy of something like that. The talks of having an actual treatment plan for if you do get COVID.
Yeah.
That does exist, and I think the US has put in orders for like millions of units that are supposed to arrive in the summer, but I don't know, with the supply chain being what it is and with current world events being what they are, if that's going to disrupt how that rollout affects who has access to it.
So true.
Because before all of the current things were happening, I'd say back in December, I was more in the mindset of once like Omicron fades back down to more steady levels. We're going to be at a higher threshold of people who have immunity just because
that's how
they gained like immunity from contracting it or whatever. More people will have time to get vaccinated and boosted during that time, and a potential treatment will be out by then. So I felt like by summer I would feel a lot more confident going out to public spaces and events while still trying to mask when appropriate and hopefully have more outdoor events. But even then I felt like if I did get it, even though I'm still trying not to, at least there would be a treatment for it, and the curve would flatten at hospitals where the beds aren't taken up as much because it's not spiking with new variants and things like that.
Yeah, not everybody's getting it all at once.
Yeah, so with all of those things considered, come October, it might be a possibility, maybe, but it's really hard to tell until you get closer. Kind of like when you're looking for a new place to rent or buy. Well, I guess it's really a renting situation where you have to wait until like the month that your lease is up before you could start looking at other places, because you don't know what's going to be available until it's almost time to go.
Yeah. It's a last minute thing for a huge life decision. Yeah,
but
I think that's a pretty comprehensive list of worries. Good job.
Thanks. I've been thinking about
this. Yes. I can tell. Oh man. Well, yeah, that is definitely basically all the things I was thinking of, and there's also just the added like comfort level, like personal comfort level. I know that for me, I am on the more extreme end of like, I could put off a lot of things because they aren't super important. Some other people think that like everything is important and they need to go out right now. So it's really personal at that point after you've taken into consideration all the things that you've brought up, which are very logical things that everybody should take into consideration. Especially if you're going out locally to a spot that's also different from going to an event with thousands of people. So it's not all like all or nothing. It's not just hey, we either go out and do stuff or we don't.
Yeah.
But I'd be curious to hear all the thoughts of all the people in the chat, because I know that I'm sure that if all of you had like free tickets to go to whatever event, which by the way, Lightbox was incredibly cheap compared to all the other conferences. I don't know about this year's pricing, but it's always been very affordable. And the idea of that, if you had like a free ticket or a really cheap ticket, would you go this year?
Mm-hmm. As for the comfort level, I'm totally ready to like dip back into stuff if those other things were in place.
I would really love like information, and I probably should just look it up, but information about whether they would require vaccines, boosts, masks, like what kind of stuff they put into consideration or whatever.
Yeah. I would hope that it's vaccines and masks. Vaccines are required and masks optional, but like smiled upon. What's the opposite of frowned upon?
I like that. Yeah, I've never heard of something being smiled upon, but I'm going to smile upon that phrase. I like it.
But yeah, having some sort of measures in place for people who are considering going, but that level of comfort maybe isn't at 100% because how could it be? Mm-hmm. So just knowing that for Lightbox, they came out with their own graphics printed on a mask, so it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibilities for them to say like masks definitely consider wearing them. And vaccines required, which could limit the number of people coming, but that honestly could be a good thing.
Oh, heck yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, curious. We should definitely look into it. Dark Hours was in the chat saying, I'm hoping they still put effort for the online parts of it so it feels on par, selfishly. And then
Agreed.
Saying also just hauling your stuff there if you were going to have a table. Yeah, hauling all of that stuff would be maybe a road trip situation more than it would be like airplane thing.
I mean,
Maybe.
people who
I
have
don't know.
done conventions get used to packing it in a way that's really collapsible and all that stuff. I've never done it, so I don't know all of what it entails, but I've seen other people be like, yeah, it's been years of figuring this out.
Yeah. That would be a big one to practice with, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
I've been to smaller conventions with Ashley, just tagging along and sitting at the table with her. There was like a Sailor Moon con in Seattle that we just drove up to and set up,
Cute.
which was fun and cute and Sailor Moon, so,
Obviously.
amazing.
Quite.
Rin says, I'm still not quite comfortable with crowds. Oh, yeah. I don't think I am right now either, but I was hoping by summertime I would be.
I'll be emotionally ready in summer. That's a t-shirt.
If all those things like fell into place.
Oh, man. Yeah, I think it'll take a while for me to get emotionally ready, but the only way to do it is to go to the things. And I honestly don't think there is a lot that would get me out other than like a light box, because those are the biggest groupings I would go to regardless of, Panini and all that. I feel like during the residency, they sent me all over the place and I did a lot of stuff and it kind of pooped me out. And I'm like, all right, I'm good on like most events, but like ones where it's like free or paid to go and ones that are like really work related, I'm down for.
Yeah, Lightbox is loads of fun. We've met some really awesome people there, and they're very inspiring talks.
Absolutely. Learn a ton.
Dark Hour says, not knowing how keen people are to buy. IDK, that's not something I'm familiar with.
Buying like from you at the convention, yeah. Well, that was one of the reasons that they kept the price down, was like, hey, you don't have to pay all your money towards a ticket. Whatever you save going here, spend it on the artists. Like, go get their artwork, which I think is really, really smart and a great way to pitch it, especially to creatives who probably everybody there who's buying the art wants to someday sell the art. So they're like, yes, this is my type. But the idea of how well it will be filled by people, it's really hard for me to judge that. I feel like a lot of artists have taken it really seriously, at least the ones I've like seen online, but I also really weeded that out, where like if people weren't taking it seriously, I would stop following them during the whole everything, especially the early years. And that is because I just dislike irresponsible people, and I considered them irresponsible. And you don't have to follow.
I guess rightfully so.
Yeah. So
Anthony Jackson says, I'm
sense.
definitely ready for an in-person event. Let's see what the world looks like in the future. And Taylor says about selling things at cons. A lot of people who table will ship to the conference center beforehand.
I could believe that. If you have like a massive setup, that might be the only way.
Alessandra says they're ready for it too, but not too many people though. And Dark Hour says, I've been to one big crowd event, but that was outside. Wore my mask the whole time still. Of course, got notified that people got infected there. So, yeah, I don't know. All this said, I really miss the meet space events.
Hey man, the one event I went to that had like more than 20 people was a wedding. There was an outbreak there. We wore our masks the entire time and were not affected by it, but that was definitely, like, we talked to people who had it at that wedding, I know for a fact, and so it's just like, precautions, they're still important. And sometimes it doesn't even matter, like if you're in an outdoor event and there are a bunch of people but you're not interacting with every single one of them or close enough, like the outdoor space is a huge factor for sure. But in that sense, like maybe the people around you totally don't have it, and then I go to a smaller event and people do have it. Who knows? It's just risk mitigation on your part, basically.
Alessandra says, yeah, same here. I miss before COVID days. And then Dark Hour says, lately I've been feeling so creatively lonely. It's hard to explain. I still feel so disconnected from my local creative community. And Taylor says, I'm going to my first in-person event this weekend, a regional SCBWI event. Vaccines and masks required.
Love to hear it. Yeah, the SCBWI events, I wonder how big they are regionally. I've never been to one that's regional, so let me know if you've been to one. But that's very exciting. I feel like, again, that's a really tempting kind of thing because it's so work-oriented. Those are like my favorite events for some reason. I guess because artists are fun. But SCBWI has been nothing but a great time every time.
Oh, Taylor says it's like 250 people.
250, yeah. See, that's like not too bad. I feel like with Lightbox, how many would you say we were around when we went?
Hundreds. More than 250.
For sure, more than 250. I just can't like put a number on it.
1,000 maybe. I don't know. Hundreds for sure. But and Dune, the puppy. Oh I just looked at those photos the other day.
Really?
So cute. Yeah.
When we showed up on the first day, Anthony fell in love with a Great Dane puppy. His name was Dune, and he was very cute.
So cute.
Very cute. Very Anthony's type. He's very into big dogs.
And puppy big dogs. Is there anything better? They haven't grown into their paws yet, so it's just like, oh, what are you? You're not real.
Version of them, so they stay a puppy forever.
It's a larval state. I don't think dogs as fetuses are as cute as axolotls.
Why are you so sticky?
Sticky?
Yeah. You gotta keep a fetus moist.
Is that sticky?
Yeah.
I don't know what a fetus
consistency
is.
Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine. Think of it as larva.
Right. Are they sticky? I would say more like slimy.
Sticky. And stinky. No. But yeah, that puppy was cute.
Yeah.
On the better subject.
It was.
And I have really high expectations because the first time I went, the first thing I basically got to see, first of all, I can keep on saying first. First of all, it was me, Anthony, and James down in California, which felt so much like the good old days when you and like all of us would go just like on an adventure somewhere. There's so many good memories like that. Like when we went to Disneyland together. It was so good.
It was amazing. What a trip that was. We were spoiled rotten during that trip because we knew people that worked there. So we got in for free and then shown around to like...
We got to meet Mickey Mouse.
The behind the scenes. Yeah. Amazing.
It was so
the
good.
Fantasia version of Mickey Mouse because our friend that was with us knew the person that was in the costume, so we like went in the back way and got some Mickey Mouse photos.
Ugh. All the best food, all the best rides.
It was a dream.
It was everything. So anyways, what I was saying is the other thing that happened that Lightbox is I walk into the first day seeing a bunch, like, you know, the thousands of people, they're all waiting in line to get in the building. Every one of them was wearing a badge with my artwork on it. And so it felt very welcoming. I was like, holy crap, I have an in with every single person. Hey, what's that around your neck? Mine.
That's me.
It was me. It was just one of those moments where I felt really vindicated or whatever you would call it. I don't know. Justified? What's the right word here?
Proud?
Appreciated? It was great.
Seen.
Seen. I really want everybody to just have that experience of like having your artwork so visible amongst your peers. It's awesome. Although it's totally not the work I do now, but
yeah, would never touch it again.
Yeah, this time I'm gonna make glowing axolotls and they're gonna put it on the badges. It's gonna be great.
That was a good time. I think I still have that badge somewhere in a box. I mean, on display, framed.
I've worn it for every digital Lightbox presentation that I've done. I always put it on, and I'm like, remember the good old days when we were in person? Oh, it was so good. I miss the people too. So good to see.
Yeah.
Anyways. It's up to every individual what they're comfortable with, and I'm just curious to see how much of a turnout they're going to have this year. I highly doubt I would go, but I also don't want to close that door completely, just in case. If there is some miraculous summer happenings, like Anthony says.
I really hope so. Chuckover says, I cherish so much the online creative hangout time I've had and have, but I miss doing crafts with another person in the room. On a similar note, I am so happy that other people are being able to do creative things in person, to have new and engaging conversations, but it's starting to get a little stinky with jealousy.
Stinky.
Thank you for putting up with my venting.
Please, always vent, yes. Yeah, that is a very understandable feeling. I mean, I don't get to be around people all the time. I mean, James is also an artist, but honestly, we don't really, like, create together as much as we probably should. We need to take advantage of that more. We always say that. We're like, oh man, we should have drawing nights, like, all the time. But, you know, when you have life and stuff, things get in the way. But the idea of like having a creative consortium around you, isn't that just the dream of like, oh, I'm gonna go to a studio and we're all just gonna create together. Maybe we'll like share different equipment or like mediums and just try stuff. I remember,
Sounds like a retreat more than it could be
sustained.
a daily thing. Yeah, like a sustained thing, but that's only because, well, going back to what you do as a creative professionally, you draw all day and then you draw on the stream, which is semi-work but still enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have free time, you like to do crafts and things away from like the typical art that you do.
Yeah.
So I suppose it makes sense that if you had free time with James to draw something, both of your energies are like, I've been drawing all day, maybe I want to do something else.
Absolutely. Let's play
But if it
Minecraft.
was a retreat where it's like 2 weeks of we don't have work, we're just doing this artistic retreat where it's just studio time with other creatives, then I'm sure that's when something like that would happen.
I was literally looking up residencies the other day. You're so
There was
on
one in
the
Canada
spot.
that I saw that was like,
Really?
oh, you're just gonna live in this cabin
Okay, where's
for
that?
like months, and then I think it got shut down because of COVID.
Dang it. Dang it.
Like, that would have been fun.
Yeah.
Just do whatever project you want in a cabin in the woods, and we'll supply you with all the stuff you need and make sure that it's stocked with groceries.
See that? Okay, so I was looking
Yes.
at one on the Oregon coast, and they were like, basically what you get is a discounted room rate, but you still have to pay for everything. Like, everything. And you can't have guests because we expect you to be artistic.
What?
Yeah.
Tell them this isn't a guest, it's a collaborator. His name is Anthony. He's a tool that I need.
What a tool. Oh my gosh, yes. But yeah, it was, yeah. Every residency is different, and I want to do them, basically all of them. Feel like
The one on the train where you just travel across America?
that was the Amtrak one, and it wasn't necessarily a residency. It was just like, hey, do you want to advertise for us, but in like a really organic way? Ride the train, talk about it.
That's so weird. I love it.
I love it too, but they didn't give it to me, so I love it less.
I wonder who did get it.
People. Probably people with dogs, and they have like a dog Instagram with millions of followers or something.
Train dog.
Train
Wearing, like, a
dog!
conductor hat,
Choo-choo! Oh my gosh.
shoveling coal into the
Oh, sell me tickets right
chimney?
now. Yes.
I don't know
would buy it.
train anatomy.
Chimney. Shove coal in the chimney. That's train anatomy for you. Wow.
Dogs do it.
Look at the dog shoveling in its little trainer outfit. Trainer?
Yeah.
Outfit?
Trainer, yeah.
Conductor, is that what
I know that. I know that train term. The one with the stripes and the overalls and the poofy hat.
goes all aboard. Clear.
How do you translate to dog?
Woofy woof.
Woofy woof.
Bark bark. Boof. Little boof.
Is there a train dog word crossover? Training,
Training
I
your
guess.
dog, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
he's
low hanging.
Kennel trained or whatever they call it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but what's that have to do with a
Chugga
train?
chugga woof woof.
Chugga chugga woof woof. That's good-ish.
Pretty solid.
Mhm.
Everybody, we're on pun time. What puns can you make with dogs and trains?
Rin said tugga tugga war war.
Okay, that's not
That's-
bad. They play tug
That's
of war.
something.
Let's
Tugga
see.
tugga is like chugga chugga.
It's true. That is close.
Is there something like choo choo
happy-
instead of?
I mean, chugga chugga choo choo, but like chewing on it? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Tugga
Yeah,
tugga
that's
choo
good.
choo?
Yeah,
Yeah?
yeah. I think we got there. We got there.
It's just like, it's something.
This is what collaborating with artists is like.
This is what every video chat with Anthony is like. This is literally what we talked about with Corinne.
Honestly.
Like, all right, let's make a pun. Everyone, brains, unite!
We did do that. We weren't very successful.
Hey.
Do you remember anything that we said?
No.
We won't remember
Don't
this
ask
either,
me to
honestly.
remember things. Gross.
Ew.
Yeah. But, you know, the act of trying is the fun part. Just like, I still remember trying to come up with jokes with James one time, and we came up with some really bad ones, like popsicle stick jokes. I still want to keep doing that. Yeah. So, popsicle stick joke, go.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? You started really solid. That was good.
I know, yeah. I was hoping maybe you would just fill in the rest.
What do you call a dog conductor?
A trainer.
A well-trained dog. A well-trained pup? See, workshop it in front of people. This is how we do it. We verbally process.
I just need to read the Wikipedia about trains and then the Wikipedia about dogs, and then I'll have plenty.
And then the mashup happens on its own. It's just like chewing gum, baby.
I just need to like refresh those brain cells of like, this is what dogs are, this is what trains are.
Okay. Dogs are canines.
Platform K9 3/4 was from Rin. That's good.
Platform K9. Oh my gosh.
That's pretty good.
That was very good. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, good job, Red. Yeah, I think this has been successful. Everybody take a break.
Everybody take a break.
It takes a lot of work, okay? It's very exhausting.
We have about 10 minutes left in today's stream.
Do you think I can paint these guys?
Take a quick break. It looks like you are painting these guys. So,
do you think I can finish them?
You've got 2 left, basically.
2.5.
Yeah. I haven't been paying attention on how long they take, but...
But I believe in you. Thank you.
I believe in you.
I like your blind faith. That's what really I need right now.
Yeah.
Beep, 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 beep. And I gotta be ready at 5 because you are going to be on a walk at 5.
I know, it's so... I still see crisp shadows.
Crisp shadows.
The sun is unimpeded.
Truly. I am so excited.
I hope you go on a walk as well.
Oh, I'm going to, for sure. Hey, James, we're going to go on a walk after the stream. Sound good?
Yes.
I think he said sure.
I'm glad.
This guy gets 2 sparkles.
Ooh.
What is
He sees something really nice.
Wow.
Exactly. Oh, you have 2 catch lights in your eyes too. Well, not right now. Look more at the light. There they are. Ow!
Turned on.
Yeah. Jarkar says, "Yay! Walkies all over the world.
Walkies all over the world. You know who
It's a good day for it everywhere."
It's so beautiful. And we have a new tree down by the beaver. It didn't fall completely to the side, though. It's kind of like, it was so heavy that it went...
But not to the ground.
I get that reference. I get it. Okay, so... the tree was like this, and then it kind of like tilted against another little sapling that was over here. And then as it fell, it just went... So it's like leaning and down and just like not quite all the way falling.
Interesting.
Yeah, so
it's like if you're wearing socks in the kitchen and you lean against a wall and then your feet just start slipping forward.
I like it. Keep going.
I see it. And then you fall all the way down and then you're on the floor.
Crying, vomiting.
It was slow. It didn't hurt.
Oh, okay. You're totally fine. And you look up at Sammy and she's like, "What's going on with you?"
What are you
and
doing?
Like, I fell. This happened last night.
Felt like it.
Always
Rin says Dogwarts Express.
Okay, that was pretty good too.
Platform K9 3/4 to catch the Dogwarts Express. Gotta blend all this together.
Didn't we talk about this like 10 years ago? We were like, what if we made a Harry Potter comic and it was all about dogs? Like, as in all the characters became dogs. And
We don't
Hagrid
know
was
what
like
we
a
talked
big
about
bumbling
yesterday night, so I don't know about 10 years ago, other than that date that I forced you to go on with.
You guys want to hear the song from the
Sounds weird
commercial
when you
in
say
that
it
one
like
movie? Canine Crunchies all contain selected meat and wholesome
and
grain.
wholesome
Toy
grains.
Chihuahua or Great
Or
Dane.
Great Dane. All love canine crunchies.
Crunchies. See, we remember things from a million years ago. It
The
just has to be in
70s.
song form. The 70s. I was thinking the other day, I was like, wow, my parents were born in the 50s. That means they were like teens in the 70s. How crazy
Good
is
time
that?
to be a teen, I think, right?
I think? I don't know.
I feel like they had a good time.
It gives me more appreciation for, like, I don't know, Forrest Gump. Like, watching that movie and getting the sense of the decades a little bit, obviously comedically, but, like, for what was going on. It's kind of hard sometimes to understand the lifespan of a person. Like, I could read a biography and know more about them than I feel like I know about my parents. They haven't gone through each decade to tell me what they were doing at that time. I need to know.
Ask. I'm sure they'd be
Yeah.
interested in telling you.
Well,
your mom maybe would try harder.
No, actually, okay, so in high school, I did an oral history report, which means you just have to ask someone to give their story of their life about it, like a certain event is what the assignment was. And it was the Vietnam War, and so I got my dad to talk about it, and I learned more about him and his family in that, like, hour interview than I have ever learned before. So yeah, you just have to ask.
Well, do it again.
Okay. The last time I did that, I learned how my parents got their house, and I was just like, oh my gosh. It was so much cheaper back then. It's ridiculous.
It was. My grandma was telling me her house cost like $30,000.
Ah! Now how much
That
is
was
it?
in the
2 million.
60s. Not 2 million, but it's probably, the property is probably worth something like near $1 million.
That's crazy.
I mean, because the house was older, but
Yeah.
the neighborhood that sprung up around it, those are all like multi-million-dollar homes. But she's in like this little annexed section. So I'm sure the property value, yeah, I'm sure the property value is like great premium.
Definitely.
But I don't know, that could be related to if the other homes in that little annexed place also sold, because I mean, it's annexed, so that probably has something to do with something.
As in, it doesn't belong to the town? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like they have septic instead of being connected to the sewage system.
That is fascinating.
Because they're like unincorporated, and the two roads, quote unquote, that lead into it are private, just like gravel roads that the people that are next to those roads own.
Yeah, and they maintain and stuff. So if there's a pothole, you gotta fill it.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is. It's very interesting. So I'm not sure about the workings of what her actual property is valued at, but
yeah,
it's surrounded by a bunch of expensive houses, so I could only imagine.
Oh, it's in a very desirable area for sure. So I'm sure she would get a lot for it, but also the value is in it's her home. So
there is that. But she's already grappling with thinking of selling it so she could afford retirement. Well, not retirement. She's been retired for a long time now, but
yeah, more
like maybe assisted living or something like that.
Yeah, totally. That's why my grandparents sold their home, and I was looking it up the other day, and it's close to $1 million that it's like estimated for online. I'm like, oh my gosh, insane.
Yeah.
It's a
beautiful
home, still,
beautiful
it's like
home.
$1 million. Do you remember
the home itself
like,
and the location, like the view from those windows?
It's everything. But
primo.
Also the idea of $1 million. Remember when there was like, who wants to be a millionaire? And now it's like, it can afford you a house that's like pretty normal. It's not like a mansion. It's like a house.
No. Yeah. It is a nice house. I mean, it's way bigger than my grandma's house.
Oh, for sure. And like you said, it's a beautiful location. I'm just saying, my grandparents
it had to host 10 children.
$1 million. It had a lot of kids.
No. But then I also think of like inflation. How does that come into it? Because I think when my grandma was telling me it was $30,000 whenever she had it, I did the inflation calculations and it was somewhere like mid $200,000, which is still inexpensive comparatively.
But not as crazy as like
But
comparing today dollars to then
$30,000. Yeah.
Well, my parents' house is all over the place with that because they had another
Addition.
level put onto the house. Yeah, which I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, man, how many houses have had additions put on? Because when that was happening when I was little, I was like, oh, this is just part of life.
Yeah.
Like everybody's house just gets upstairs eventually.
Yep. It's like the next form that your house takes.
Yeah, exactly. The house is evolving. But we had to sleep on a mattress behind the couch for like a year as they were putting a new whole addition onto the house. And I can't believe that went as smoothly as it did. For little kids who were just like well behaved apparently. Go us.
Well behaved in what way do you mean? Like
we never complained about that. Like we slept on a mattress in the living room. My parents would watch a movie and I'd just be trying to fall asleep. I remember them watching what was it? Message in a Bottle. And I was just like, I'm sleeping. But I still hear it.
I thought you shared a room with Erin and you bugged her a lot.
We shared a room until they started the addition, which in that case, our room became the stairs. So they had to take out our entire room. We had nowhere to be. Mm-hmm. So the whole stairs and then into the upstairs, there was only my parents' room in the back and then one bedroom, which was John's. And then it was me and Erin sleeping on a mattress in the living room, which is also right next to the kitchen. It was just, wow.
High traffic area.
High traffic, yeah, to say the least. And yeah, it was just one of those times. I also remember very vividly being in the backyard, looking up at the addition being put on by all these construction workers, like on top of our house, which was just plywood and, well, plywood. It looks like plywood because that's like one of the layers that they had on the floor. And then the skeleton of the walls. And I would sit in the backyard with Erin and her best friend and sing Smash Mouth, the Somebody Once Told, you know?
Yeah.
That was life.
Very familiar. It's a very popular song.
Oh my gosh, we knew every word and we would scream it at the top of our lungs. It was a great time. Anyways, there's my childhood.
I've had some interesting living situations. They
definitely
weren't as like happy as that though. I don't think. I mean, still like grateful that we still had a house to live in, but there was a time where we had to move back in with our grandma, and my mom and I shared a hide-a-bed in the basement while I was in high school. Ooh. And then another time where my mom could only afford like a small place in someone's basement with me and my sister, and they shared a room and I had my own room. Mm-hmm. So it's always been like someone has to share a room with mom.
Mom, I'm not sharing this time. That's crazy.
One day I won't live in a basement.
Oh my gosh.
A real home.
We have to get you out of the basement. This is our new goal.
No, it's nice. It's a nice basement. It's all refinished.
Well, we once lived together and it wasn't in a basement. For 3
That's
years
true.
We had roses and apologized to no one.
What's that for? A message in a bottle?
Never vendetta.
Oh.
But it was much darker in their case, so we should be grateful for our levity.
I wish we had more time in that apartment together. I feel like
it was so good. I know.
We didn't really juice it for all that it was worth.
No. Well, we only got it for a year because then we were like, wait, do I have to wait another year or should I just get married to James now? And then we were like, now. And then, because it was all based on lease. That was like the whole reason for the date of our wedding. It was like, are we moving out? Yes, no, yes, no. Yes, okay. We gotta get married then. Oh my gosh, it was a whole thing. Do you remember the like 2 weeks that James lived with us and the cats got all up in his stuff? Oh my gosh.
I don't remember that. I remember the dishes not being done as much as I wanted them to be done.
Funny that you remember that. I would never remember that in my life. I'll never think of the level of dishes that have to be done.
Oh, it wasn't that they weren't done. It was the quality of which they were done.
Wow. Okay, I see how it is.
And I was like, wait, I took it off the drying rack, and I was like, this isn't clean.
It's
That's
clean.
what it was.
Oh, no.
The effort was there, appreciated.
Just not the detail,
Quality.
the attention to detail.
Yeah. The food on the plate being there still.
It's time. Okay, we almost
5
got to the
o'clock.
end. We almost got there, but we would also still have to do a
Soft light layer.
So there is a tiny bit more to do on this, so I will probably just finish it off stream and post it at some point. But thank you guys so much for watching. We've got to go take walks. I highly recommend that you guys take walks too.
Walks.
Walks. This has been the Axolotl stream part 2. If you want to catch part 1, it was with Ryan Selvey. It was yesterday, so March 21st, and it was on Adobe Live, so you can catch that in Replay Land. By the way, shout out to Replay Landers. We love you, even though you're not here live. Pretend that you're typing into the chat and just type into a Google Doc.
Yeah. Good one. Nice comment.
Good. Or
great
you could
suggestion.
live chat on the Discord to an old video and just be like, this is the video from March 22nd and I'm watching it now, so I'm gonna live chat. And then you just chat it up and you're like, ah, you're so funny. Here's my dog
that
train
seems like
fun.
spam.
No, it seems endearing
We'll
and
delete
lovely.
all of those comments.
How dare you? Anyways, Anthony, is there anything you'd like to say before we leave?
If it's nice out, try to get out there and take a walk. If it's fun and safe to do it in your neighborhood.
Shout out to our mods who are amazing, and we also have links for them down below, so you should check out every single one of their works. Also, remember to stay masked, get vaxxed, get boosted, be kind to yourself and to others. Remember that you are loved, and we will see you again on Thursday, 3 p.m. Pacific. See you later, buddies.
Bye.
Bye. After party, after party, after
Yeah,
party,
but like
party,
a quick
party.
one, right?
A quick one. We're going on a walk. Bye. Rin even put a link for Canine Crunchy's jingle in the chat.
I know, I saw that. It's so good. What a cute scene it is.
Oh.
Something about watching TV in a movie, it's really fascinating to me.
Does it just like grab onto your brain and not let go?
It does. Like that game show that they play with the criminals.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh,
Something about
man.
that, of like watching an old time TV game show on an old time movie on my TV. It's like Inception.
It's working. It's
How
working.
far does this go?
Oh man, Alessandra says whoop whoop, 5 seconds of after party.
Yeah.
And bye.
And
Real quick, Joe says, I'm going to take the first step and tidy my desk so I can art on it. You go, Joe. You do it. Oh my gosh. That's such a good step to take. I totally love that. Everybody clean your desk just for like 5 minutes. It will thank you. And Rin
I might
says,
rearrange my whole room.
Little Fox says, let's walk. Oh yeah, go rearrange your room. Have fun with it.
Well, maybe
No
later.
beds
Tomorrow.
under windows.
I know. The feng shui is wrong.
My bed is under a window. Whoops.
Mine too. Oh, I guess I already said that 3 times.
All right, we will see you on the other side. Have a good night.
Bye.